Hey, here's Kevin again, and today I'm going to put up my medieval and late medieval armies of Hungary, which really emerged from its pagan roots, right? Under King Stefan, he kind of orchestrated the conversion of the Magyar tribes to Christianity and really broadened their influence, and they became a formidable force within Central Europe. So it really has its roots in a nomadic people, but really turned into embracing the Renaissance and being one of the strongest kingdoms of all of Europe, which eventually folded into the Austro-Hungarian Empire. But I mean, this country was really strong militarily, had strategic alliances that were outstanding, and was really inhabited by a very diverse group of people: Slavs, Germans, Romanians, lots of different ethnicities, customs within its borders. And the army that I built was really to try to represent this, not Stefan, because he was around 1000 AD, but really looking at it from about the 13 or 1400s under Matthias Corvinus, which was the king of Hungary, and really fighting against the Mongols, which would have been in around the 1200s. But you had the army can fight, like the Battle of Mohi, which was really the climax of the Mongol invasion. But moreover, I really have it focused on the 1400s. So under various leaders. Yeah, I know I could probably talk a lot about Hungary, and I really wasn't going to focus on the Mongol invasion that kind of ended about 1242. But I think from 1300 to 1500 is where, and the Battle of Mohacs that I focused. So it's really this House of Anjou that really said that it was kind of a 9-year struggle, right, for the throne. In the end, King Matthias and Corvinus from the House of Hunyadi, which his army was kind of built, is really the main focus of the army. Then, of course, you have the end of the medieval kingdom of Hungary, which was at the Battle of Mohacs. I think that was about 1520 something, where the Ottoman Empire under, I think it was Suleiman, because I studied him. I really think that's a fascinating character, pretty much annihilated the armies of the Kingdom of Hungary. And I think that was by King Louis II. But I think that this is a very powerful army, very powerful kingdom, had a lot to do with the politics of the day, and I think that it was an army that I really wanted to represent as best that I could. So I tried to make it look very ethnic, diverse, with Western Knights and with Eastern-looking troops, and kind of what was there at the time. So I'm not a Hungarian expert. I know there's some people there that are. So I'm sure that you'll probably watch this and say, "Geez, Kevin, you could get this a little bit better." But I've really worked hard on trying to make sure that what I depicted was correct as far as my painting was concerned. So I think that it really reflects what I felt like the army looked like during the time, from probably the House of Arpad, I can't really pronounce that very well, until the Battle of Mohacs, and what happened after that as far as its transformation. But I think that anybody who's interested in medieval warfare should focus on this side, not just the French and the English at war, but I think the Hungarians at war is a very interesting subject in its own right. Hello, here's Kevin again. I promised one of my YouTube followers to put out my medieval Hungarian army. And this army can be used from the, let's say, 1400s to 1500s, sometime in there. It's kind of a late medieval army, but it was built around Hyundai, the leader, and I guess you could also use it for Flad, but I really enjoyed the wars of Hungary, always struggling against the Russian Empire, the Habsburgs to its west, and then of course the Ottoman Empire. So I have here, we'll start with this, a block of knights. I did a lot of conversion on that as far as making the shields. I did the shields out of cardboard. They're Merlington figures, but I really enjoyed how they looked. Of course, this is late medieval, but if you wanted to do an earlier wars, you just take them out and supplant them with the earlier knights. I have, of course, a wagon with the religious and the crosses and the monks, things like that. It kind of is a contrast to having somebody being impaled. But I've got a lot of like Eastern-looking Hungarian cavalry that's also in the army, as well as other types of medieval knights, all in the heraldry of the different Hungarian nobles. I have a couple of 3 war wagons, and then towards the back line, I've got just a ton of light horse archers for harassing. There's some peasant infantry blocks. These are very nice figures, and very happy with them. They can be used in just about any army that's Eastern. I use them also in my Russian army. But I think they look great with the axes and pole arms, and there's some Merlington in there and some other figures, Black Dragon, etc. And of course, over here I've got some crusading knights that from the Teutons and the rest that came up to augment. Then another fairly good size, large block of knights, and I think they look pretty good. I need to probably refresh them a little bit. Pulling them out, I see some highlights I could do and some changes, and so I'll get to that eventually. Here's a nice line of Hungarian archers and some more light cavalry, Streltsy, I think they were called, and yeah, I think they look pretty nice. And of course, here we'll get to this line here. This is a line of Hungarian spearmen and infantry with some very nice figures in there that kind of give it a little bit of a flavor of being an Eastern Empire, Eastern Hungarian type of army. There's just a mixed bag of figures in here, Essex and Merlington and all kinds of different figures with pole arms and axes, and it's a very attractive army on the gaming table. At least I think so. And there's of course these leaders. I tried to put some flags on that look nice, etc., etc. So then of course you've got some more archers on this side and some archers in the back, and then of course you got another line of Streltsy up front, light cavalry. Try to get them as best I can, but I think that yeah, it's pretty formidable. There's the artillery pieces, and of course I've got some figures for the crossbow here, and I've made my own pavises out of cardboard, and just cutting them out. And then of course there's arquebus, maybe for a little bit of a later army. But I think in all it's very large blocks of knights, lots of archers, peasants, war wagons, artillery, and I think just a lot of attractive looking knights. I really like the Eastern looking ones, as I've kind of fit them in there so they would ride alongside of the knights. I put Hungarian crosses, and I tried to do a lot of Hungarian heraldry on the different units. Here you can really see it. They are not Western knights. They're definitely Hungarian, and with their red knee and back. But I think they're super attractive. I really liked how they turn out. The war wagons are scratch built using different pieces, and oh yeah. Well, I hope that you like it. I haven't put up a medieval army in a while, but I did this for Corvinus, and hopefully he will enjoy it and be inspired by, yeah, a Hungarian army as a counterbalance, or as the enemy to the Ottomans. Anyway, thank you for watching.